Waiting for the... There it is. There's the microphone. Hello and welcome to the LieStream. I am your host, your Kevinly father, Kevin Williams. I just came in from tennis. Also, I'm a ninja. That's why I'm dressed like this. And just in case I get tennis elbow from throwing my ninja stars, I am wearing that. So hopefully this will get underway and they will probe Trump and ask him questions about his COVIDness. Person, woman, man, COVID, you see? And then it'll be done, and we can get going on with our lives. So here's Tucker. Let's see what's going on here. I imagine that it's going to be well into the hour
Burlingame would know. He runs the Lincoln Studies Department at the University of Illinois at Springfield, and he was...
Let's go live.
Documents the Constitution.
Let's turn him down. All right. He's got some kind of... oh, that's... what's her face? The judge. Judge Jeanine Pirro. I think it is.
Seen as another partisan branch of government that is not elected but appointed by the people.
Yeah. So we'll find out how many COVIDities Trump has in a little while. In the meantime, I thought you guys might enjoy a little bit of the Rush Limbaugh broadcast where the president said the F word today. So let's bring that up. This is Rush Limbaugh interviewing the president earlier today. And we have to... I've got like... Hold on. What is happening? Sorry, I had like 5 things going in my ear at once here. Give me just a second here. I've got to stop Tucker. Stop that, Tucker. I'm going to bring him over to another window so I can watch him. So as soon as Trump gets going there, we can get going. This is Mr. Rush Limbaugh. Let's hear what he has to say.
And I want you to do something for me, sir.
Go ahead.
I want you to imagine you have just landed in a gleaming, majestic Air Force One to the largest radio rally in history. Instead of thousands cheering as you walk up to the stage, there are millions and millions of patriots out there right now anxiously awaiting to hear from you. No doubt they're waving Trump flags, wearing their bright red MAGA hats proudly. This, sir, is a mega MAGA rally, and we are all thrilled to be with you today. We are so glad you're doing better, and welcome to the EIB network.
Well, I want to thank you, Rush. You're a fantastic man, a friend of mine, but before I really even knew you as a friend, you were like a supporter. And I said, I know that guy, he's got a big audience, but I never even knew the importance of what you do and what you say, and now I do very well. And it keeps us all in the game. And we just got great polls out of... you probably heard out of Arizona. We're getting them out of Nevada.
Hey,
you know, the real polls, not the fake polls. We're getting them out of North Carolina.
Pumpkin, I am also from Canada, and I might be going back to Canada, depending on the results of this election. A lot of people say that. A lot of people, oh, God, I'm moving to Canada. I actually could.
Carolina looking really good.
As many of you know, I'm a bi-citizen.
I think Pennsylvania.
I'm a dual citizen, just to clarify that. Dual citizen.
Pennsylvania's looking good. Florida's looking great. It's all a big phony deal they have going, Rush, and we're going to...
The drinking word is the F-bomb.
Win this. I think it's going to be a bigger win than we had 4 years ago.
Oh, that would be great. I have, Mr. President...
Great polls.
So earlier today, Aaron Rupar was trying to capture it. I managed to get a video feed. The video feed for Russia's site kept crashing because so many people were trying to watch.
Hey, Tucker, absolutely incredible to have 2 landfalling hurricanes.
They're doing a weather update on Tucker here. I'm trying to get that going at the same time. So anyway, basically, I was the only one to capture Trump when he used the F-bomb and posted up there. So now that video has been shared more than 3.1 million times. That was a couple of hours ago. So it's probably well beyond that now, because usually around 5 o'clock when the East Coast gets home from work, if people work, that's when things start going nuts. So that video has a ton of views and likes and stuff now. And the point of that story... oh, yeah, here's the thing. I started noticing around 2:30 Pacific time, bots were picking that up. So bots... I couldn't tell whether the bots were pro-Biden or pro-Trump? Because what I noticed when people were retweeting the F-bomb, a lot of people were retweeting them, and they had the X's and the red X's and the American flags, etc. So, like, the left is going, look at the president swearing on a national radio show using the F-bomb, 25th Amendment now, and the right is going, fuck yeah! Mr. President, fucking A! And the bots, I don't know what side the bots are on. So, interesting. Anyway, whoa. This is... I've got Tucker going over on my left here. And it's a MyPillow ad. I didn't even know what was going on. But suddenly there was this face, just like this. And it's like... I know it's a screen, but it felt like someone was right up in my grill. I'll show that to you guys. I can make it happen. This is what I saw out of the corner of my eye, and it freaked me out. Here's your MyPillow. Let's see what she says. Yeah,
they're really great. They're super absorbent. Go to MyPillow.com or...
That just... What about her is freakish?
But you could line
I'm sure she's a wonderful person.
I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent. Go to MyPillow.
She's really pretty, right? Like, what? Why? It's just a weird angle on her. It's like right up in the screen. Let's put on a 50 millimeter and get right up in there. Okay, closer. Weird. So welcome, everybody. This is the LieStream. This is what we do. We monitor and chat truth to power. And the president is supposed to get himself
or call the number on your
medical exam today. And it'll just be... It's a dog and pony show. A dog and COVID show, if you will. She looks lovely. I'm sure she's a wonderful human being. Now Relief Factor with Sebastian Gorka is... God, Fox. Here's the thing. CNN, the ratings might be lower. Last year, CNN turned $1.2 billion in profit. $1.2 billion. Fox makes way less than that, even though they have almost twice the ratings, because they just don't have the audience and because the advertisers aren't interested. The average age on Fox is about 66 years old, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. So it's different. Somebody said something funny. So good job, everybody in the chat room. If you want to support this broadcast, go to kevinleefather.com. You too can become a sponsor of the show. That would be nice. Or you can be a PayPal or a Venmo and send me money that way. Let's go back to Trump on Rush here, and I will continue monitoring Tucker and see what's going on there.
I have to tell you, from the moment that your appearance was announced, we've received... We've never had a response like this, sir. I'm in my 32nd year. We have never had a response like we had.
Oh, hey, we're going to interrupt Rush. Well, I want to do like a full show on Rush because it's 2 hours of this. It's, an hour and 50 minutes nonstop of Trump this morning, going into every little conspiracy theory that he can get into. Where does the money here on the chat go? Well, the YouTube money goes into my YouTube account. It's minor right now, and they're talking about defunding me. So YouTube, unfortunately, is never a sure thing. So that's why I prefer the Patreon. If you want to become a patron, that would be wonderful. I'd really appreciate it. Go to kevinleefather.com. That'll take you right to my Patreon page. That lets you subscribe and give me a monthly amount, be it $1, $2, $30,000. You guys helped raise more than $30,000 on this last Saturday for booksandbricks.org, a wonderful charity. My Mom's Fund, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what we're talking about, we did a fundraiser for Books and Bricks on this last Saturday. They're an organization that sends kids to school in Africa, in Kenya. That's where Obama was born, if you remember. That's why you know that name. Hold on, Tucker is starting with a new segment. Let's see what he's saying.
Since then, his public events have been canceled. He's not participated in any interviews on camera. Now the president's physician says he has completed his course of therapy for the virus and can return to public engagements as soon as tomorrow. By any measure, it's been a remarkable turnaround. On Saturday, we were hearing rumors that the president was very sick.
He's just
on
going to
Monday.
talk. I will continue monitoring that. I want to pull you guys up the total figure because they had a wrap-up meeting today, which unfortunately I couldn't participate in because I had like 3 voiceovers due, which is great. Hopefully something will come of that. And also because I didn't want to just be a bunch of people saying how great Kevin was. All I did was host the thing and talk. Everybody else behind the scenes did all the work. I did a lot of work. And so my mom's fund, just by itself, ended up bringing in, I'm going to find the figures here. I'm looking through my emails, guys. Sorry, I can't see your chats right now. Let's see. My mom's fund. My mom's fund by itself took in $5,474. We got to go. Trump is talking. So that's good news. Give me a moment. We are going to retweet. Okay. There's the doctor. Okay, so the doctor. Okay, so the person, woman, man, camera, TV guy is doing this remotely. So this is just gonna be nonsense. But let's watch it, and then I'll go continue my tennis game. Good news, Kevin Lee's son is in town. He's visiting. He got a rapid test, so he's good. Bad news, his mom and Kevin Lee's daughter's mom, my ex-wife, works at a medical clinic in Georgia. She can't get a free test anywhere. She literally has the only place around the area that she lives in Georgia, the only places you can go is to urgent clinics or your doctor's office, and so you have to pay for the doctor's visit in order to get the test. And again, a lot of people don't have insurance, especially in Republican states. Those people are not getting tested because they can't get the test for free. Just insanity. Here we go. How about some volume?
We had to rely on the White House camera team for that interview.
I'll tell you about the total in a little while here.
Dr. Siegel interviewed the president from New York. Here it is.
President Trump, welcome. This is not officially a televisit, though, as you probably realize, I've done hundreds. But I hope you'll indulge me and let you be the patient and I'll be the doctor here. And I promise you, no copay.
Wait, the doctor's going to be the doctor? And Trump is not going to be the doctor? I'm glad he established that right out of the gate. That's smart.
Okay. Sounds good to me, Mark.
Okay. So the first question is what we call the chief complaint, which is, briefly, how are you feeling now?
I feel really good. I feel very strong. I know a lot of people that have had the COVID or the China virus, as I call it, because it came from China. But I feel really, really strong. And a lot of people don't feel that way sometimes for a while afterwards, but very good.
What about symptoms that you had last Friday, like when you went into Walter Reed? What were the 2 most prominent symptoms?
Is he going to ask when the last negative test is? As we discussed the other day, guys, Trump hasn't taken a test. I don't think he's taken a COVID test since probably July, when Kelly Macaroni said that he takes multiple tests per day. And then when they asked him about it, he's like, I take one every couple of days, maybe 3 days. Maybe. And we know he was lying about that because he looked down and to the right when he was answering the question, which is one of his tells. We've talked about that before. You guys are so smart.
That you had?
I think didn't feel strong, didn't feel really strong. I didn't have a problem with breathing, which a lot of people seem to have. I had none of that.
Earlier today, he told Rush Limbaugh that he was very sick.
But I didn't feel very strong.
He didn't feel very. That's a symptom. Better get on the helicopter and get to the. Mr. President, you're not feeling strong. Get him. Medevac this man. Let's give him experimental. Give me. Oh my God. Shove it in. $1.5 million worth of medical equipment. Because he's not feeling strong.
I feel very vital. I didn't feel like the president of the U.S. should feel. And I knew there was something a little bit off.
I'm sure FDR was always feeling vital. Did you feel like you had a lot of vigor?
And the doctors at Walter Reed were incredible. They came from Johns Hopkins. They came from everywhere. It's good to be president, I guess, but they were really great people. But I would say more weakness than anything else, Mark.
You know, Mr. President, I got to tell you something confidentially. My patients never listen to me. No matter how hard I try, they don't do what I
Nobody
say
listens
half
to
the
you.
time.
Yeah.
Did that occur to you where the doctors were telling you something and you were negotiating with them, or did you just do what they said?
I did negotiate, but ultimately I have a lot of respect for these doctors. They're really the best doctors, I think, in the world. And Walter Reed, I've seen the work they do on the military and people coming in so badly injured that like you've never seen before. I have a lot of respect, so I really tended to listen, but generally maybe I wouldn't. But I did tend to listen to this group.
Generally, he wouldn't listen to doctors.
When you were in the hospital, what was bothering you the most? What were you feeling?
I just think that it was just you were tired. You were, it was just getting to you from the standpoint you didn't have that same energy level. And, my life is based on...
He was tired. He didn't have a lot of energy. So they medevaced him from the White House to the hospital. Yeah, because just feel a little bit down. They'll run down.
A little bit on energy, and you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It could have led to bad things from that point. I don't know. But I got lucky, I think, with a certain medicine. But it really...
But your Viver was okay? That's what we're concerned about. Tell us about your Viver.
We launched the Great American Comeback.
Yeah.
And we really did. We launched it with a Viver and with a...
Yeah, he's the only human being on the planet who has Viver. So if he's missing that Viver, you get him to the hospital. And on the way, you might see some ballots that have been dumped in the Viver. You want to recover those because that is fraud. Super fraud. Super V fraud. That's what that is.
It was something. I took a certain medicine that was, very miraculous to me, I think. I really don't believe it's just in the head either. I think I really believe it worked.
Were you
from the standpoint of mind
scared? Were you frightened?
Well, I took the Regeneron, and Eli Lilly makes a very similar medicine, but you have Regeneron, you have the Eli Lilly version of it. And it just, within a period of 24 hours, I felt very different. I think I could have left the hospital a lot earlier. But it made a tremendous difference, Mark, and, markedly so. And
yesterday, he told Sean Hannity that he probably would have gotten better without it. Or it could have been the Fox Morning Show. Whatever, he could have been talking to Fox and Friends. I don't know. But yesterday he said, he said it was a miracle. And it really, really made all the difference, and it made him feel better immediately. And then later in the same interview, he said, I probably would have felt better without it too. Because you get it, and then you get better. You get it, and then you get better. That's how it goes.
It just felt very good.
Yeah, and it is made from fetal stem cells as well. So it does make you feel really good.
You would have sort of a sore throat, just to add to what we were saying, but
okay, so not just lower energy, not just a lack of Viver, also sore throat, and then the cough as well, and then the lack of O2 because you needed oxygen twice, so that part as well.
I felt really very, very good after taking this for a period of time. It's a transfusion, not a shot, and I'd like to send it to everybody. In fact, I've said I'm going to send it to everybody that's got the problem, and we're going to send it free of charge, including seniors, of course. But
someone, and I think it was the Times, could have been the Post, I don't know, someone worked out that about 10 people on the planet have had the treatments that Trump has had. 10 people.
We're going to send it to everybody.
Did you want to leave the hospital earlier than they said, Mr. President?
What kind of, this is not doctor questions. This is not what doctors ask.
They wanted to keep me for observation, they wanted to be sure it was good, but I did. I was there for...
Every time you go to the hospital, they want to keep you for observation, sir.
I guess 3.5 days. They wanted to keep me... I wanted to leave after the first day. I really felt I was in not bad shape after the first day. I think I would have been in much worse shape had I not taken this medication.
How long did they want to keep you?
But you also said that you would have gotten better also, so that's...
Doctors.
I don't know exactly, but they kept me for the time. I stayed for the time that they needed me, and they've done a lot of...
That they needed him. That the team of doctors needed him. By the way, the White House has a full hospital suite, so he gets all the care he needs there at the White House. But it was very gracious of him to stick around the hospital for the time that they needed him.
Tests. They've done tremendous testing. And right now I'm medication free. I'm not taking any medications as of, probably 8 hours ago or so. I'm medication free, which frankly makes me feel good. I don't like medication.
Mr. President, if you would feel comfortable, can you tell
It's a miracle, but I don't like it.
me a little bit about the tests you had in the hospital? Did you have a CAT scan? What did that show?
Yeah, they tested the lungs. They have incredible equipment at Walter Reed. In fact, they said, no, you could leave your jacket on. That's the first that's ever happened. Leave your shirt on, leave your jacket on. I said, I'll take it off anyway if you want. But literally, they tested the lungs.
Sir, you can go ahead and leave your jacket on. I can take it off if you want. No, God, no. Sir, we have to leave the room. Oh, it's because of the equipment has all the radiation. No. I mean, yeah, sure. It's the equipment. We're gonna step outside while you take your shirt off.
Lungs, they checked for the lungs and they tested it with different machinery. They have
he does have lungs.
Incredible stuff that I've never even seen before. And
yeah, it's a hospital. You're not a doctor.
It tested good. Yeah. Initially, I think they had some congestion in there.
President tested good.
But ultimately it tested good.
Good.
And with each day it got better. And I think that's why they wanted me to stay, frankly. But the CAT scans were amazing. The equipment was incredible. I've never seen equipment like this before.
He's very specific about his treatment and his diagnosis. I like all of that. When they tested it was good, and then it got better, and then eventually it was at best.
We also spoke to the president about his drive outside Walter Reed Medical Center to greet his supporters out front. A lot of the blue checks on Twitter were enraged by that.
Yeah.
We'll show you how the president responded to their criticism now.
I want to be a blue check. I can't be a blue check. They stopped the blue check program. I got a video right now on Twitter with 6 million views, and I can't get a blue check. I just give, and I give, and I give, and then I take. I have that. By the way, if you ever had a heart attack, get yourself a Cardia. It's wonderful. Oh, here we go. Let's find it back. Hi, how are you guys? How's everybody? Welcome to the LieStream. I'm your host, Heavenly Father, Kevin Williams. This is what I do in between tennis. Ah, boy. So Kevinly daughter's gotten significantly better. And now Kevinly son is down here visiting, and he's going to be living here for a little while. We don't know for how long. Because he can work from anywhere. They were beating me. I'm having to try. I'm having to play with my right hand.
Just before the news broke that it won't happen at all. He also asked the president about his car ride.
Oh yeah, the debate's been canceled, guy. The second debate's been canceled.
Outside Walter.
Yeah, get the Cardia. I have the one, Stephanie, I have the one that has 1 lead. They now have one that has 6 leads. I would spend the extra $50 and get the 6 lead one because it is handy to have, and a couple of times it has helped me out making a decision: is something really strange happening to me, or am I good? So I would highly recommend the Cardia. The other option, of course, is the Apple Watch. If you are an Apple fan, the Apple Watch has an EKG, should be an ECG, but the EKG on it. There are some other watches that have the ECG, but that one will tie in with your iPhone if you have an iPhone. And if you do have an iPhone, you've made a series of poor life choices. What are you going to do? Okay, so do that. Let's go back to Tucker here.
Reed, the one the media told you endangered his staff. It's interesting. Here's more of Dr. Siegel's interview with the president.
Could you talk to me about when you went outside Walter Reed in PPE and the drive that you took and well-wishers and what you...
He didn't have PPE. No, he was not wearing PPE. The 2 Secret Service people were wearing PPE because they were in a hermetically sealed SUV.
You were thinking when you did that?
With an active COVID
Well, I had
patient.
tremendous numbers of people. I could hear them from the hospital, and I was way up high and, this very fortified military hospital that's, built to the highest standard, and yet through these very powerful windows, I could hear people screaming and shouting.
Powerful windows. Powerful windows. The president has powerful windows. Powerful windows. They're bulletproof. and powerful. Allison, thank you. I was going to say, he's always high.
And with love, with real love. And after 2 days, I said, I want to go.
There are powered windows. Maybe they go up very quickly. I bet that's true. I bet that if the presidential windows in the Beast go down, they can go up really quickly. It's an armored vehicle.
Out and say,
Biden wants to get away with all windows. He wants to do away with windows in cars. No more cars. No more windows in buildings. He wants to tear all the buildings down and put up a building. And they're only going to have little tiny windows. Little tiny windows like that. And they want to get rid of cows and put the windows in the cows. Cows are not going to have any planes will not have There'll be no windows anywhere.
Say hello to the people. And I went to Secret Service, and these are the people that are with me all the time. And they said, we have no problem, sir. I said, I just want to take a drive.
That's the thing. When Trump has a breathing issue, how do we know? There's no way to tell.
Drive by them and just wave. And you saw what happened. It was a great display of love out there. I don't think there was one negative person.
Powerful Windows Vista.
And there were many, many, many people. But I don't think there was anybody negative out there. It was just they went crazy when they saw the van go by, the car
SUV.
go by.
SUV.
And the people in were protected. They were very heavily protected because at that time, I guess I would have been positive.
Were they powerful?
But they were very...
You still are positive, honey. By the way, he's now calling... So there's two basic types of tests. There's multiple tests. Let's go. Okay, so your rapid test that you get 15, 20 minutes. That rapid test for antigen. And it's not as accurate as the PCR test, which... you play when you have a Monopoly game. It's like, go to PCR test. Take the PCR test is the one that you send away to a lab and they test for the RNA, which is the DNA of the virus. That takes more time. So now he's calling that the actual test. So the one you send to the lab, the actual test, because he's taking rapid tests, this is my hypothesis, he's taking rapid tests on a daily basis probably, which he wasn't. Previous to this is why we can't find out when he had the last negative test. So he's taking the little tests, the rapid tests, but he's not calling, those aren't the real tests. The actual test, this is what he's calling it now. We'll see if he says it in this interview, but he talked about that on Sean Hannity. But he's still testing positive. He said he was going to take an actual test today. We don't know if he has. Let's find out if there's any breaking news.
Very protected. And they've been with me, they've been with me for a long time, and they understand. But they also thought it was very important. I thought it was very important to show my affection for them. They were standing out there 24 hours a day. You saw that. I mean, every time you'd be on television, you'd see them in the background. And I just thought, I love the people I love the people of this country. And I thought...
Not the Democrats, but okay.
It would have been very disrespectful if I was there for three and a half days, and these people are there standing late at night, early in the morning, and
he said the press was going to tell him that he was rude for not going out there. If he hadn't have done it, the media would say that he was rude not to endanger 2 Secret Service agents. But now he's saying that he thought it would have been disrespectful. So he's the media.
Didn't go out and at least give him a little wave. And that's what I did, and I'm very glad.
How about testing is the word? Just any word. All words are drinking words today.
Glad I did it.
Mr. President, lessons learned from this, from your own illness, that you would apply to the ship, to stewarding the ship forward in the fight in the pandemic, and how you can apply it to other people that have COVID-19 and how to prevent getting COVID-19. Lessons learned.
It's such a great question. I think the biggest thing is that I did do it early. Now,
it actually is a great question. It's not going to be a great answer.
I have such great access to medical. We have
to medical.
The pandemic and how you can apply it to other people that have COVID-19 and how to prevent getting COVID-19. Lessons learned.
Yeah.
It's such a great question. I think the biggest thing is that I did do it early. Now, I have such great access to medical. We have a White House doctor who's great, and
did do what early?
You have so many great doctors. So it's a lot easier for me than somebody that's, doesn't have access to a doctor so easily, where it's a big deal to see a doctor. But, here we have...
Wouldn't it be nice if everybody in America, the people that you love, all the Americans that you love, had access to doctors. What about that?
All over the White House, frankly. They're watching every corner.
We're having a good laugh about Americans not having access to doctors. Some of them die. Am I right?
But I think very important for me was very early. As soon as I felt something, and I'm thinking about it because I see what's going on, and I have a lot of people are around me, even though there's tremendous testing, but a lot of people are around me, so I think about it. And I know there's a danger, but
Sorry.
As soon as I felt something, and I'm thinking about it.
I'm going back even
to a doctor so easily where it's
I was busy laughing. That's on me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm forcing you to watch more Trump than you should.
a big deal to see a doctor, but here we have them all over the White House, frankly. They're watching every corner. But I think very important for me was very early. As soon as I felt something, and I'm thinking about it because I see what's going on, and I have a lot of people are around me, even though there's tremendous testing, but a lot of people are around me, so I think about it. And I know there's a danger, but I can't be somebody that goes into a basement and just hides in a basement for the rest of my life. I'm running a country, the greatest country in the world. So what I think the big secret for me was I got there very early. And, I think it would have gotten a lot worse. One of the doctors said he thought it would have gotten a lot worse. I just think that even these medications, they're a lot better if you get them early than if you get them late. It will react probably better. So I think going in early is a big factor in my case.
Dexamethasone, I've given it to a lot of patients.
So that's the advice? That's how you're going to steer the ship? Go in early?
And steroids to a lot of patients. Most have tolerated it well. Sometimes there's issues with anxiety or behavioral issues. Did you have any problem with that?
No, I didn't even know I had it. I didn't know what it was. It's a form of a steroid, but it keeps the swelling down of the lungs, as I understand it. And I tolerated it very well. I don't take it anymore, but it was pretty short term. During the course of the medicine, that was one of the medicines. And no, I think I tolerated it very well, Mark. And it keeps the swelling down, and that's important.
What are you taking right now, as of today?
I think really nothing. You
don't know?
Pretty much finished, and now we'll see how things go, but pretty much nothing. We had our final doses of just about everything. Actually, the original transfusion, that's supposed to last for about 4 months, the antibodies. And I think you're supposed to be protected anywhere from 2 to 4 months, and maybe longer than that. I don't know.
Are you going to donate your own plasma, Mr. President?
Oh, that was chopped.
Well, I will. Nobody's asked me that question, actually, but I will. If they want.
That's actually a very good question.
Want me to do it? I'd love to do it.
And when are you getting tested? What are you testing?
Are you tested? I heard you said you were going to test again today. Have you been retested?
I have been retested, and I haven't even found out numbers or anything yet, but I've been retested.
It's just a 1 or a 0. It's the only numbers, yes or no.
And I know I'm at either the bottom of the scale or free.
When is your next test going to be?
What does that mean? Positive or negative? That's a nice face. He's pretty.
I don't know. Probably tomorrow.
You've been retested.
I have been retested, and I haven't even found out numbers or anything yet, but I've been retested, and I know I'm at either the bottom of the scale or free.
When is your next test going to be?
I don't know. Probably tomorrow, Mark. They test every couple of days, I guess, but it's really at a...
So he's testing positive is what's going on. He is testing positive currently, which is what I said. He hasn't referenced an actual test, so let's see if he does.
A level now that's been great to see. Retested, and I know I'm at either the bottom of the scale or free.
When is your next test going to be?
I don't know. Probably tomorrow, Mark. They test every couple of days, I guess, but it's really at a level now that's been great to see it disappear.
So I have a question, and this is my own...
We're talking about COVID or the testing?
Fantasy, Mr. President. All of this back and forth controversy about the next debate. And if you test negative, and you've said you want it to be in person, how would you feel about a debate outside on Miami Beach?
Well, I'd have no trouble with it at all. In fact, when we have rallies outside, we've had no problem whatsoever. Outside is better.
Except for that whole Rose Garden super spreader event, yeah.
Better than inside, as you know, with this crazy thing that's gone on. But I would have no problem with it. But, you know, we've always had a problem with this commission. This commission's been ridiculous, frankly. But who wants to do a debate on a computer? I don't. You know, virtual.
JFK and Nixon did it by television.
Debate. No, you got to be there. We did great on the last debate. You have to be there. You have to see the person. You can't do it on a computer. Besides that, you know, Joe has a tendency to get the answers and read them off a computer for when he's asked questions. So I'd rather. I would love to do it outside. Would be fine as far as I'm concerned.
Where do you think you got the virus? At what point do you think you contracted it? Looking back.
You know, I don't know. They had some big events at the White House, and perhaps there. I don't really know. Nobody really knows for sure. Numerous people have contracted it, but, you know, people have contracted it all over the world. It's highly contagious. That's one thing you learn. This is a contagious disease.
Did you just learn that now, 9 months in? Is that what's going on?
And
because you know, you were telling Bob Woodward that 8 months ago.
Generally, you get better from it, but we also now have medicines that will help a lot. And if you look at mortality rate, I think it's up 95 or 85%, Mark. I think you've seen that. You pointed it out to me.
The mortality rate is down, not up, 95%. But okay. I see what you're trying to lie about there.
What we're doing now with the medicines and all of the things is...
Remember when we had, like, serious presidents? Like, really, really boring presidents that cared enough to get the language correct, at least?
Incredible. But, you know, especially younger people, I wish they'd open schools. I hope they open schools. Some of the states are closed, and the cure is worse than the problem itself in many cases.
It isn't.
It's a terrible thing.
Mr. President, a final message from you to America about what they can learn from your illness and your recovery, which many would say is inspiring. A final message.
Someone said, flood the ERs. Flood them early. Was that at random who said that? What's he going to say? What did the president learn from all this? What is the advice to Americans? Americans, listen up. The president of the United States.
I just have such great respect for the doctors and labs, scientists, the people that work on this. They're doing incredibly well. I have incredible respect and love for the families that have suffered so badly. This is something that came to us out of, I don't know, I won't be able to tell you yet. Maybe at some point I'll be able to report exactly why it came to us, but it came out of China. It shouldn't have happened. They should have never let it happen. But they suffered plenty also, far more than people understand. But this is something that should not have been allowed to, they should not have allowed this to come out to the world, not only to the United States, to the world. But I have such respect for the people that have suffered, and my sympathies to those families that have been so horribly hurt and just horribly hurt. And again...
Horribly hurt and just horribly hurt. So, again, this is the message to the American people.
The United States, to the world. But I have such respect for the people that have suffered, and my sympathies to those families that have been so horribly hurt and just horribly hurt.
Both.
And again, the respect for the doctors and for the technicians.
Third time he said respect for doctors.
And for the scientists is incredible, because I've seen...
I don't think science knows, mister.
...what they've done. And it's incredible the job that they've done in a short period of time. Over a 6-month period, the job that they've done is incredible. And you'll see that very soon with the medicines and with the vaccines.
Mr. President, I really appreciate that last answer and the interview, and I want to tell you how much it means to us.
I'm glad he appreciates the answer, because I have absolutely no appreciation for it. What is your message? What have you learned? What can you tell the American people to reassure them? I have a lot of respect for the doctors, and they're suffering more than you know. I'm going to tell you that China, I can't tell you. Maybe someday I'll tell you. Maybe I won't. I respect the doctors. Also, I respect the doctors, technician. I just have such incredible respect for the doctors. God bless the doctors I respect.
that you appeared for your first on-camera interview tonight on Tucker Carlson Tonight. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. It's my great honor. Thank you.
There's more to that interview.
I don't know what that was. Tucker banging papers on the table.
If you're interested, you can catch it tonight on Shannon Bream's show, the on-air portions at 11 Eastern, right here on Fox.
Oh, so 8 o'clock. Maybe we'll broadcast again. For now, that's that, kids. Thanks for joining. I am your Heavenly Father, Kevin Williams. This has been the live stream. I'm going to go play tennis. Bye.
Kevin, thanks for that. Kevin, thanks for that. Kevin, thanks for that. Kevin, thanks for that. Kevin,